Right. First and foremost, I'm gonna say all praises be to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Makar Kodash. And then I'm gonna say double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the sincere elect teaching the truth and faith and sincerity. Quick topic on the speak on is based on this information that came back out back in April. I didn't come across it at the time. I was just looking up some news, and some articles, and I came across this back in April. And obviously, in recent weeks, I've done a few videos on AI and that pre-crime mindset and concept that we've seen in movies that's in real life, which adds to the point and proves what we always say, how Esau likes to show you certain things in movies, and people think, oh man, that's just it's a movie, it's not real, blah blah blah. But time and time after again, we always see news and information that proves that that ain't the case. That these things that we see in movies like Terminator and Minority Report, I Am Legend, and all these other movies of the future, it's taking shape, man. All right, because the mark of the beast is the RFID implantable chip, and as we know, with the emergence of AI, there's many different ways and uses of how this will be used, man. You see, to spy on people, to know what a person is doing, and obviously in terms of a chip, to know what a person is thinking and certain thoughts, and just basically have everyone on a complete grid and basically in slavery. So these things are happening before our eyes. These things are taking shape, and for a long time, people thought these things were just conspiracies. These things were conspiracies. These things were movies, but it's been shown day after day, week in week, week after week, that it's not. So before I go into it, I'm just read a quick scripture. All right, so this is Habakkuk 2:5. The scripture was 2. I'll stand upon my watch and set me on the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write a vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And that's what's happening, right? It's speaking, right? And for a long time, people thought these days were far off, but guess what? It's speaking. You see, it's come to pass right before our eyes. So let's quickly play the news clip, read a bit about it, like in an article, and we'll be on to the next one.
The MTA wants to use artificial intelligence to locate troublemakers in the subways.
The agency's chief security officer is working with tech companies to develop software to analyze security camera footage in real time. Michael Kemper says the goal is to spot potential problems before they start. An MTA spokesperson added that AI tools would not involve facial recognition. He said the technology,
which is a lie. Of course it will involve facial recognition, because if you want to observe trouble and stop it before it takes place, if you got a person that's being linked to certain crimes, he's got a criminal record, of course you will scan him on a database, and obviously know that person may be may be involved in doing another crime. So them saying that ain't the case is just a lie. Of course, Esau, as we know it, man, is a serpent.
Would be used to identify behaviors, not people. And the MTA is planning to replace turnstiles with modern gates in 20 subway stations later this year.
This is part of the agency's crackdown on fare evasion. The turnstiles would be replaced by sliding glass doors that officials say would be, quote, very difficult to open. The agency plans to begin installing the new gates this fall. They would be tested as a pilot program before deciding on how to roll out the whole system. And
so, and if we get the article, it says NYC is exploring AI-like minority report to predict crime before it happens on the subway, right? So this is backdated to this is the 30th, of April. It says in a move that sounds straight out of Minority Report, New York City is looking into testing a new AI subway camera system that could predict dangerous behavior on subway platforms before anything actually happens. And again, I just spoke about some information over here in the UK of how the UK government's got a database on people who are most likely to commit murders and basically try and stop them before they even do the crime. All right, so this proves that all throughout Earth, especially in Europe and America, right, and China, of course, and all these other places around the world. All right, it says in a move that sounds straight out of Minority Report, New York City is looking into testing a new AI subway camera system that could predict the dangerous behavior on subway platforms before anything actually happens. And again, we always mention, like, Esau in his movies, people think, oh, it's just a movie, innit? It's fun. No. These things are, basically a prophecy on the left-hand side of what they plan to bring in the future, which all ties in to this NWO MOTB system powered by AI, which is about to take place upon the earth. The MTA is currently piloting AI-powered systems to identify early signs of trouble in real time. And again, what we've always said is that the skeleton of this NWOB system already exists. And if you think about it, if a person has like a marketed beast, which is the RFID implantable chip system, and they already got all the information and the database and the spending habits, what people they're always around, what they watch online, their whole database, right? When a person is chipped, you're basically plugged completely into this system and made a slave to this system completely. See, these systems are designed not to recognize faces, but to detect behavior. And that's what Esau being a serpent, that's what he obviously likes to say. But again, Esau speaks with a double tongue. So he can say, something now, oh, we won't do this, or we will do this, or we will do that, and he'll just change his mind later. Right? It says these systems are designed not to recognize faces, but to take behavior from erratic movements to signs of distress or agitation that could signal a brewing incident. All right, according to the MTA chief, blah, 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 the goal is predictive prevention, right? Which is basically pre-crime. Stop a crime before it happens. See signs in a person that may do a crime and stop him before he can even get there, which allows for a rapid response, right, from security or police before an incident escalates. And basically, you know, if you keep it real, this is Esau's way of trying to be like the Most High, to know what you do before you do it, and have things in place to stop you from doing certain things before you do it. Right? Kemper emphasized during a recent MTA safety meeting that this isn't about watching people, which is a lie. It's about watching for warning signs, which by default you're going to be watching people, right? Because you'll be watching people that don't have red flags and people who do have. So people, regardless, of being observed anyway, right? If the subway's AI camera system flags someone for acting irrational, it could trigger an alert that prompts intervention. Kemper noted that the agency is currently working with tech firms to determine what systems can realistically work in an often chaotic subway environment. The new subway cameras mark the next phase of an evolving strategy. In 2023, the MTA revealed it used AI to monitor fare evasion, tracking where, when, and how riders were skipping payment. This latest step pushes the boundaries further, tapping into AI's potential for real-time decision support in public safety. You see, and that's what Esau likes to do. You know, he likes this to say, he's doing things for your safety, but what he's really doing is taking more rights away. All right, so hey, I'm gonna get more scriptures now. This is Psalms 55. All right, this is Psalms 55. All right, and the 20th verse. Right, it says, he have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He have broken his covenant. Esau is known for never keeping his word, man. He'll pass certain laws of not doing something and just turn around and do it. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And again, that's how Esau is. Pardon me. He's talking about doing this for your safety, to protect this person, to protect that person, but really ultimately all he's doing is taking away your rights. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this to make you safe. Let's do that to make you safe. But then, at the end of it all, you just realize you're in slavery. All right. This is Ecclesiasticus 12 and 16. All right. Let me start from 12 and 11. 12 and 10. Right. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Right? And thou shalt be unto him his eyes wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Yeah. So even though he comes across as meek and humble, and I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to help you from you. I'm just trying to save you from you. Now that what he's got planned is evil. Set not him by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in that place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou hast remembers my words, be pricked therewith. And we've seen many historical examples of people being set by near with Esau, and he just, overthrown them, especially with like the Native Americans, the tribe of God especially. Who will pity a charmer which is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast? And yeah, Esau is that serpents, and serpents are patient, right? They know how to, appear vulnerable and not willing to harm. But when they get things in place, at the opportune time, they strike. There's even certain serpents that know how to camouflage, like sticks. So a person or a beast or whatever might approach that snake thinking it's a stick, and then at the right moment get strike. So that's how it is, man. So that one that goes to a sinner and is defiled with him in the sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, you'll not tarry. But here's the main point. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Yeah. So he's speaking sweetly to, stop crying, just to protect you and all of this, all of that. But realistically, he's looking for that opportunity to, shed blood, man. Remember, the devil's going to come down with great wrath, because he if you have but a short time. When all the pieces are in place, he's coming for straight death, man. Remember them lists, red list, yellow list, and a blue list. And these are things that Esau has, and he's got it in different ways. And one way he has it by is AI tracking all your information, all your databases and social media, and who you call, what phone call, who you're around, and much more, man. And these are all things that we've been speaking about, which is why it makes more sense. Even it's becoming more clear, more and more, that the mark of the beast is the RFID implantable chip. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand and in their foreheads. And that mark is that karagma, man. That, incision. Right? And that no man might bear so save he that have the mark, or have the name of the beast, or the number of his name. It's like this, implantable chip is going to be linked with the world's economy, like a new form of payment, where you're plugged completely into it. But as you know, in Revelation 14, it says if you take that chip, a judgment is gonna come upon you, man. But the point of this lesson here, let's speak about AI, system and things that's taking place around, Earth. Right? This is Jeremiah 5 and 6. Wherefore a lion out the forest shall slay them, and a wolf of the even shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities, and everyone that goeth out then shall be torn to pieces. Now, of course, we know what massive judgment and evil is about to take place, especially amongst Jake. But even on the point where it speaks about leopards shall watch over the cities, right? In spirit, that speaks to his surveillance systems and programs, which he's got. You know what I mean? Which, hey, with AI, boy, like, you know, and as well being chipped and plugged into that system, there's essentially no way of it, you know what I mean, escaping it, man. Which is why we as the hopeful elect gonna need miracles and mercy to happen. So, hey, you know, I just wanted to speak on that point. And I hope and pray it was an edifying video. So with that, I'm going to say all praises be to how about Shema Shabba Shema Kakodash, double honor to the apostles, and that was a great millstone. The next time we're going to say Shalom.